crafters and paper artisans. It's Chandra with Stockton Stuff. I am here for week 6, which was it probably was 2 weeks ago. I am behind on this swap. I was doing so good, and just as they say nowadays, life started lifing, and a lot of it was really around family stuff, graduations and softball, and just trying to get some other things done on some other projects. I had too many swaps. I mentioned, I think, already this week about that. And so I'm backing up and doing week 6 because I'm gonna do them all. So I just finished these projects. So the first one, well, let me say this. In my travels last month, I shopped at my friend's house in her crafty space because she is not a paper crafter really. She's a scrapbooker and she does wreaths, but she does have a love for paper. And so right now she's not doing a lot of paper crafting. So I said, can I shop in your craft room? And she agreed. So I got this 12 by 12 double-sided, right? We barely can find those anymore. It is a DCWV. I miss them so. I do have a place where they still sell them, that I can get them online. This one is called Watercolor, and it really caught my eye because of all the different fruits. So I don't have kiwi paper and some of these others. So I really love that. I do have some single sheets of some other pieces in here. So I thought that was interesting that I had these single DCWV pieces in my stash already. And so I used this for, this is the new paper I introduced this week. Otherwise, I used my Cartavella, and then some of the projects weren't paper based. So first of all, and this is what I use this paper on. So Tamika, I'm sorry, they're my T's. Tamika, Cindy Smiles, who's hosting this swap, she did this mini kind of easel calendar, and she made the cutest calendar for us. And so, it's got little crafty things on there, craft mode, and it runs from July until next year. Happiness is handmade. If you can't stand the mess, get out of the craft studio. I just thought it was super cute. And then she did the mystery craft swap on the front. So she gave the directions for this, and she gave it using pattern paper. So I used a piece out of here, and then I had this. Oh, I should have brought it to the table. This page of 2x2 crafty little sayings that I have been hoarding, so I thought I would pull that out and put something, a crafty sentiment on there instead of stamping something. So it says, "Hey, crafty girl," and then I just picked up a pack of sticky notes from Dollar Tree because I knew that my color scheme was pinks and greens, and so there was a pink pad and a green pad in there, and some other, blue and yellow, other colors as well. But that's what I really wanted. And so I did it the way she said, but she also linked the original video from the crafter that she, had gotten the idea from. And she did back the calendar on white. I mean, not the calendar, the sticky note on white. And so I did that too. I like the contrast of that. And she also had a little strip inside that matched the paper. And so I thought it was really cute. And I was originally concerned, and I cut my paper before, that it wasn't going to be sturdy enough adding the calendar and the sticky notes just using double-sided papers, which is why I chose a higher quality, or as they call it, a premium stack from the DWV. But when I watched the original crafter, she used a solid as the base and then added the paper as a layer. It was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so she did her designer paper. So I made this one for myself, And I did that, and then this was also a cut apart from the page. Now, I did not staple mine, and let me tell you why. I have a what do I have? I have a cutting board, those big ones from Aldi's. I don't know if you guys got one of those. They had the butcher style cut, and it also had 3 different styles of perforated lines. So I just did the straight perforation, and then I glued above the perforated line so that you can just tear off. And hopefully my swap partner will see that. I should put a little note in there and say, hey, these are perforated, and you can just tear them off each month instead of, stapling it and having to rip it from the staple. And so I had that idea in my head that I was going to perforate, and so that's what I did. And then I just had a scrap left, and so I decided to put my pattern paper on that scrap, so the solid went all the way across, and the pattern stopped in the middle like this one did. So, and I made mine, a little sturdier, because on my desk, you got to, only the strong survive on my craft desk. So this one's for me, and this one's for my swap partner, and I used the same print, and both, had cut apart, the 2x2 cut aparts. And I was going to say something else with it. I might add some gems, like some bling on there. I just wanted to make sure I got this video done. Our Wednesday goodies for the week were like embellishments. And so we had to do a total of 4. And she gave us 4 different ones to use. But I decided to use, to do the pom-pom clips. Mind you, I did not have any pom-poms because I had decluttered. And that was one of the things I donated to the Goodwill, was pom-poms. So I just went to Walmart because I did not want to go to Michael's because, that can add up. So I went to Walmart and I just got what they had. So they had these ones with these sparklies in it, and then they had some solids. And my color scheme is pink and green, so I had to do what I had to do. And then I made this bow with a die I have. And this was a bow in my stash from Hobby Lobby. And then the other thing was, and I had paper clips and everything in my stash, and they were made with hot glue. So these were cute. And they're supposed to be, they're Echo Park mini clipboard album. And so she was going so fast, it was like a reel. So I just I have an Echo Park account. I just went to my Echo Park account and Googled it in there, searched it and just downloaded it from there. And so I could get the measurements. Now, of course, they want you to use their stamp and die. So I still had to kind of adjust for the background because I didn't have that stamp. But I did have this little clip die. No, it's a stamp in my stash. I think it was, it might be, no, don't let me try to think of where it was. It was in some stamp set. And I just went through my stamps because I knew I had like a clipboard, type of look. And so I did Stays on ink on iridescent cardstock and fussy cut it. And I thought about punching a hole in there, but I'll just leave it. And then I just used a sticker from the Carter Bella. I used a combination of my papers that I've been using in this mystery swap. And the back, you use chipboard. And then I cut the background of this from a 6x6 pad that I had. And just, again, trying to keep up with the color scheme. And my floral kind of spring gardeny look, and trying to get some double-sided papers in here. That was the other piece. All right, so I made it through week 6, and stay tuned for week 7, which is our final week, and check out the other crafters and see what they're up to. This has been fun. I want to say thanks to Tamika. It's been fun. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.